Welcome back, Truth Seeker. We've been talking a lot about Event 201, the coronavirus simulation that took place October 18th, 2019. Again, this event was put on by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, as well as Johns Hopkins University and the World Economic Forum out of Switzerland. Again, it was about simulating a coronavirus outbreak that kills 65 million people worldwide over the course of 18 months, bringing down world economies, and more. I encourage everyone to take the time to at least watch the highlight reel of this, which is about 11 minutes long. You'll see that everything they simulate is what's going on up to this point, with the tanking economy, travel being shut down, etc., etc. Another key thing pointed out in the simulation is what to do about online misinformation, potentially shutting down internet and social media so that people can't spread rumors. And another really key detail is that they say the outbreak started off slow, but then when it got to the 6-month mark, it rapidly took off in poor communities in mega cities. So think like the top 20 biggest cities in the world, which would be here in the United States, places like New York and Los Angeles. But that's another key detail from the simulation that people should be aware of. We've been talking a lot, though, about the encoding of 201. I've been looking for the true meaning of 201. I've been wondering if it has to do with Agenda 21, which is out of the 90s, which has a lot to do with population control. Again, Bill Gates, who co-hosted this event, he's been saying for more than a decade that we need to reduce the Earth's population by as much as 15%. You have things like the Georgia Guidestones, which call for bringing the Earth's population to 500 million. At this day and age, 13 out of 14 people would have to die to get the Earth's population to 500 million. Anyhow, we've been looking for the meaning of 201, and I think we found it. Shout out to the gentleman this morning who asked me to research this man, José Joaquín de Ferrer, a Spanish astronomer who coined the term corona when he witnessed a solar eclipse in New York in 1806. So he gave me this name, I researched it, and bada boom. There was a lot that stood out, including the fact that his name sums to 201. So we're going to break down this man and then once again talk about this number, the riddles that have been put before us. Notice that he was Spanish because in the Event 201 simulation, they focus on the Spanish flu of 1918. They parallel the coronavirus outbreak to the Spanish flu of 1918. This man right here, who was Spanish, died on the 18th day of May in the year 1818. And the Event 201 simulation lasts 18 months. It took place on the 18th day of October. And as we'll get to in a little bit, there was a movie called Inferno, which is about a billionaire who wants to depopulate the world. That movie came out on Bill Gates' 61st birthday. 61's the 18th prime. So let's just go through this. Notice Wikipedia shows an image of this man doing the hidden hand pose. This is a popular Masonic pose, the hidden hand. Implies secrecy, like secret societies. So what a nice shot from Wikipedia, giving us our first big clue. He died at age 54. Again, that number represents the sun. The corona of the sun can be witnessed during an eclipse. Again, that's how he coined the term. He was chasing eclipses. And in 1806, when he witnessed it in New York, he decided that the light that shows around the eclipsed sun, the light that comes off the edges, he described that as a corona. We talked about how Bill Gates did the documentary The Next Pandemic, November 7th, 2019. That was a date with the day leaving 54 days left in the year. We talked about how the World Health Organization declared coronavirus a global pandemic March 11th, 2020, a date with 54 numerology. Anyhow, let's look at this. This man's name in Gematria, it sums to 201 just using the alphabetic order, which we'll get to. But if you use the reverse alphabetic order and rules of numerology, one second. Apologies, I had to get the door real quick. If you decode this man's name using the reverse alphabetic order and the rules of numerology, his name sums to 96. The word corona with the reverse alphabetic order is 96. Freemason is 96. Again, he's doing a Masonic pose, the hidden hand. Masonry is based in Kabbalah. Kabbalah says God created the world with letters, numbers, and words. That's why they work by this code. His name using the most pure cipher, the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, is 84, like Masonry, also like Jesuit, also like United States of America, where he made his observation, at least according to the history books. Again, he died at age 54. S-U-N, sun in the sky, 54. Jesuit order, 54. The Catholic Church gave us the Gregorian calendar, which is based on the solar cycle, the sun. Right now we have the first publicly Jesuit Pope, Pope Francis. Here's a picture of him from years ago in Argentina doing the hidden hand. No secret who Pope Francis belongs to. You can find a lot of pictures of a lot of famous people from history doing the hidden hand. Masonry, large and in charge, been around for a long time. And then this man's name, just using the alphabetic order, 201. Event 201. The Pope's birth name, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, 201. We've been talking a lot about the Pope in light of the coronavirus headlines in the Catholic Church. And it's very possible the Catholic Church is the very tip of the spear, the head of the cabal. A lot of powerful secret societies related to them, including the Jesuits and Knights Templar. Been talking a lot about both the Jesuits and Knights Templar in light of the coronavirus headlines, rituals, banking scams. Keep in mind, Bill Gates' full name is also 201. And this man with the corona, the man who gave us the corona term, his name is the exact same as Bill Gates in all four base ciphers. Again, Event 201 was co-hosted by Bill Gates. Again, the first case in the world outside of mainland China was found in Seattle, in Bill Gates' backyard. In Seattle, they're doing the vaccines right now for coronavirus. Bill Gates is Mr. Vaccine, well invested in the cure, stands a lot to gain in profits from when all of this comes around. But just what are the odds? What are the odds that Bill Gates' full name has the exact same gematria in all four ciphers as this man? With regards to the hidden hand, just for a little more gematria teaching, it has gematria of 71, like Catholic, 53 like religion, 199, which is the 46th prime. Catholics also 46. There's 46 books in the Catholic Old Testament. JFK died at age 46, the only Catholic president. Catholic is 35 in the most pure cipher, like JFK was the 35th president. Where this man died, the man who coined the corona term, he died in Bilbao, Spain, gematria 46 and 71, like hidden hand, like Catholic. Bilbao is also 121, number coded all over the coronavirus outbreak. Remember, the first case in the U.S. was January 21st. Sirius XM has made channel 121 the coronavirus channel. Again, coronavirus outbreaks 121, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation's 121, Johns Hopkins University's 121, World Health Organization's 121, and many more. So how interesting that he died in this place with the 121 connection. And from his birthday, his last birthday, his 54th birthday, October 26th, to the day he died was his 205th day of his age. Knights Templars 205, again, all related to the Catholic Church. The Templars, the original bankers with the military might, just like how Event 201 went on the same day as the Military World Games, beginning in Wuhan, October 18th, the exact same day. And then they were having Event 201 with all these financial planners of the world. Financial, military, symbolism, doing things by the numbers. What else is interesting is this man who coined the term corona. He made his observation in Kinderhook, New York. Kinderhook is 56 like coronavirus, like toilet paper, like mind control. Number we keep talking about. California went in lockdown. The governor said he's putting in lockdown because he projects in 8 weeks, 56% of people will be diagnosed with coronavirus. This number keeps showing up all over the place. It was the 56th day of the year, February 25th, that the World Health Organization told the world to prepare for a coronavirus pandemic. and coronavirus pandemic equals 113. It was 11/3, the 11th day of the third month, that the World Health Organization declared it a pandemic. Kinderhook, New York also has the Gematria of 221 and 95, like the Bavarian Illuminati. We've been talking about Tom Hanks' son, Chet Hanks, putting out the video about his mother and father 221 days after his birthday, showing off the Illuminati symbolism on his chest. So again, you just got to say, what are the odds? For some more 201s, the TV show Containment, now on Netflix. It aired from April 19th through July 19th, 2016. It's about a viral outbreak and people being put on lockdown. The series was in Atlanta, home of the CDC, the Center for Disease Control. But this date, July 19th, 2016, that was a leap year. In leap years, July 19th is the 201st day of the year. Event 201. 201s all over the place. What are the odds? The show name, Containment, has that Gematria 47, like the 47 degrees on the Masonic compass, like how the World Health Organization's birthday is 4/7, April 7th, like how Seattle's on the 47th parallel, like how this number's always all over Masonic ritual. You know, getting Mr. Hidden Hand over here. No doubt what fraternity he belonged to. An astronomer, space. We know about the history of science and space and Masonry. Again, if you don't know about these things, you should definitely read my book. It's all very thoroughly covered in there. Again, Tom Hanks put out this Instagram post with a Corona typewriter, and in the post he mentioned how he's losing to his wife in gin rummy by 201 points. They're playing gin rummy supposedly while nursing up from the Corona simulation or their supposedly coronavirus contraction. I should also mention that gin rummy, it has that Gematria of 96, like Corona, and he's got the picture of the Corona typewriter. See? Gin rummy, reverse alphabetic order 96, Corona 96. And there's a lot of things that are interesting in gin rummy. 96 and 42 like Freemason. Freemason's also 48. Illuminati's 120 and 48. His son responds shirtless with the all-seeing eye and the pyramid Illuminati symbolism right on the center of his chest. Again, and people think this stuff's a coincidence. It's a mockery. His son put out a second video responding to the conspiracy theorists on the 80th day of the year. We talked about this. Bavarian Illuminati 80. It was his 206th post. His father was in Sleepless in Seattle, the epicenter in the U.S. of the outbreak. Seattle's the 206 area code. His father's in the Da Vinci Code, where he plays the character Robert Langdon 206, chasing the Illuminati. Then he has his son in his 206th post make a video making fun of people who are accusing his family of being connected to the Illuminati. And again, that was just days after this post, shirtless with the tattoo in the middle. And he did that post March 12th. His birthday's August 4th. So he did it 221 days after his birthday, like the Bavarian Illuminati 221. Again, like how this man made the observation where he coined the term corona in Kinderhook, New York. Another 221. And realize the Bavarian Illuminati had been established in 1776. So, strangely enough, that was 30 years before his observation. Corona in the most pure ciphers, 30. 30 years before. Remember, coronavirus pandemic, 113, the 30th prime. It was declared that on the 11th day of the third month. Again, Inferno, his father, Tom Hanks, in this film, he's trying to stop a conspiracy. A billionaire wants to depopulate the world. This movie came out October 28, 2016. That was Bill Gates' 61st birthday. A billionaire who wants to depopulate the world, as he's announced in TED Talks and numerous other places in the last decade. With regards to it being Bill Gates' 61st birthday, 61 is the 18th prime. We talked about the big influence of 18. The death of this man on May 18th, 1818. the Spanish flu of 1918, 61 the 18th prime. Event 201 was referred to as a global pandemic. Exercise. Lose the exercise. A global pandemic, 61 like Year of the Rat, 61 the 18th prime. Again, the movie Inferno is 2 hours and 1 minute. So if you load it in a Blu-ray player, a DVD player, it comes up as 2:01. 2:01. 2 hours and 1 minute. It's also 121 minutes, like how Tom Hanks got sick with coronavirus 121 days from his upcoming birthday. Again, like how Channel 121 has become the Sirius XM channel. Again, the 121's all over the place. We just talked about this. Got to say, what are the odds of a movie coming out on Bill Gates' birthday, who co-hosted Event 201, about a plot that relates to something that's like Bill Gates with Tom Hanks in it, who's now making Instagram posts with the number 201, getting sick again 121 days from his upcoming birthday. It's just, it's just in your face, really. They're slapping us back and forth. They can't get enough of the mockery, the number games. So again, look up Event 201, October 18, 2019. That is the same day the military World Games began in Wuhan. And again, they simulate 65 million killed on Melinda Gates' 65th day of her age. Pandemic 65 like simulation. Bill Gates was married to Melinda Gates exactly 65 days after his 38th birthday. Pandemic 65 and 38. Dean Koontz in 1981 predicted the Wuhan coronavirus. Military conspiracy in his book, The Eyes of Darkness, calls it Wuhan 400 in that book. And of course, when you write out Wuhan 400, it sums to 201. Dean Koontz is 74 years old right now, like how the simulation was done October 18th, Event 201, the day leaving 74 days left in the year. And from Dean Koontz's 74th birthday to the start of the Year of the Rat, the Chinese New Year, January 25th, it was his 201st day of his age. And I'm noticing that Dean Koontz's birthday is July 9th, just like Tom Hanks' birthday. Notice Year of the Rat and coronavirus have the overlap? Look at that. Dean Koontz's birthday, July 9th, 1945. Watch this. Tom Hanks' birthday, July 9th, 1956. Born in 56. Coronavirus 56. Toilet paper 56. Mind control 56. And by the way, here's a novel that came out 56 years ago. The novel Virus, with a Japanese subtitle which means Day of Resurrection. It came out in 1964, right? So from 64 to 2000 is 36 years, plus 20 more to 2020, 56 years. And from the novel to the film that they made about this in 1980, from the film, they changed the name of the disease from the Tibetan flu to the Italian flu. And think about how Italy is getting wrecked the hardest by Wuhan coronavirus. Think about Italy, the home of the Vatican. Think about how in the movie Inferno, it's set in Italy. Yeah, that's one with Tom Hanks, going after the billionaire who wants to depopulate the world. But 56 years from this book, Virus, just makes you wonder, because coronavirus is 56. They call it the Italian flu in the movie. Italian flu 66 like corona. Italian alone, 66 and 30 like corona's 66 and 30. Day of Resurrection equals 243. The United States of America is 243 years old right now. Kobe Bean Bryant, 243, dead 243 days after Jerry West's birthday, the logo of the NBA. Kobe Bean Bryant, the small weighs 81, like the 81 points he scored. He died 243 days after Jerry West's 81st birthday. He's now buried in Corona del Mar. And again, remember, coronavirus, 56 and 70 in the reduction ciphers. See the 142, the NBA was suspended this year on the 142nd day of the season. 113, the National Basketball Association 113, Utah Jazz 113, Kobe Bryant 113. Well, look at where Kobe's buried. Corona del Mar, 56 and 70. And again, Kobe Bryant, 113 with the alphabetic order. Utah Jazz, the only team in the league that sums to 113. They suspend play on the 11th day of the third month. The National Basketball Association, 113, numbers we talk about all the time with the NBA. Wrote a book about it years in advance. Again, you got to learn Gematria to understand the riddles. And just in case somehow you missed the 20-some videos I did on Kobe's death, again, all these numbers pertain to his life. He died at age 41. He died on his 157th day of his age. The month before, on his 113th day of his age, he was in the news for helping direct traffic after a car accident in the Los Angeles area. He was picked 13th overall in the first round, round 1, 13th pick. He made his NBA debut November 3rd, 113. The real King James died at age 58. LeBron King James passed Kobe in points scored the day before Kobe's death in Kobe's hometown of Philadelphia, a biblical town. He scored the 54th points of the game, did LeBron, to pass Kobe in points scored, Kobe Bean Bryant, 54. Kobe died 135 days from Kanye West's birthday. He did the 2011 film The Black Mamba with Kanye West, which ends with an exploding helicopter. He crashed right by Kanye West's house in Los Angeles. Again, he died 243 days after Jerry West's 81st birthday, the logo of the NBA. And Kobe Bean Bryant once scored 81 points in his 666th career game. Now he's buried in Corona del Mar, which also sums to 135. Or is he? Or hold on, it's Corona del Mar, California, is 135. But yeah, Event 201, all of these things are related. It's why they added the detail about Kobe fighting it out with pharmaceutical companies before his death. This has a lot to do with pharmaceutical companies, this whole outbreak. How are these pharma giants going to respond? How are they going to get the vaccines out, the distribution? But yeah, this is amazing stuff. So Event 201 goes back to the man with the 201 name who coined the term Corona in New York, the area in the United States that has the most illness after Seattle, which again are sister cities. If you've missed my work on January 21st about the first case being found in Seattle, I talked about the link between Seattle and New York before any of it even happened. Remember, Seattle, Washington's 212 like the New York area code. Seattle, Washington 68 like Wuhan, like how the construction firm that built the World Trade Centers in New York is from Seattle, Magnuson Klemenkic Associates. In 1968, World Trade Center construction began. 911 was made the national emergency dialing code. Boeing out of Seattle debuted their jumbo jetliner. 2001, A Space Odyssey came out. The New York Jets, that was their only Super Bowl winning season. George W. Bush graduated from Yale and Skull and Bones. His birthday is July 6th. The span is 68 days from September 11th. But again, all these things in 68. 33 years before they all came together, 9/11, 2001. And again, 2020 is 19 years after 2001. Wuhan also equals 67, the 19th prime. Chaos equals 19. The Masonic agenda is order out of chaos. Order out of chaos equals Wuhan coronavirus. Every 19 years, the moon does a reset in the sky. The moon's on the same pattern every 19 years. That's why Jewish holidays fall on the exact same day every 19 years apart. So 2001, the year of September 11th, 2020, the year of Wuhan. Once again, it's Seattle and New York. History repeats itself by the numbers. They're different types of incidents, but they're having the same impact, creating fear, spreading fear, shutting down economies, stopping travel, changing people's lives, the way they think about things. And realize it's all part of a plan being executed by a code. When this man was making his observation about Corona, the United States of America was already being founded and operated by Masons who've done this code every single day. You have to read authors like Manly P. Hall who explain that this nation was found by the Order of the Quest, the United States of America, established by the Order of the Quest, a group of Masons who have a plan to build a one world government. This is how they're doing it. Watch Event 201, Truth Seeker. Take the time to watch Event 201 and you will see that they're talking about getting rid of old ways to make new ways for a more connected world. All of this stuff is related. And you know what? I won't show the whole Event 201 video, but I will show some of the clips from the final minute and a half. So here, let me find that point. Here we go. Right here, Truth Seeker.
A technological answer to this. The outcome of the CAPS pandemic in Event 201 was catastrophic. 65 million people died in the first 18 months. The outbreak was small at first and initially seemed controllable, but then it started spreading in densely crowded and impoverished neighborhoods of megacities. From that point on, the spread of the disease was explosive. Within 6 months, cases were occurring in nearly every country. The global economy was in a free fall. The GDP down 11%. Stock markets around the world plummeted between 20 and 40% and headed into a downward cycle of fear and low expectation. Businesses were not borrowing, banks were not lending. Everyone was just hoping to hunker down and weather the storm. Economists say the economic turmoil caused by such a pandemic will last for years, perhaps a decade. The societal impacts, the loss of faith in government, the distrust of news, and the breakdown of social cohesion could last even longer. We have to ask, did this need to be so bad? Are there things we could have done in the 5 to 10 years leading up to the pandemic that would have lessened the catastrophic consequences? We believe the answer is yes. So, are we as a global community now finally ready to do the hard work needed to prepare for the next pandemic?
Tell you what, Truth Seeker, if we got 5 or 10 more years, what we need to do is overthrow the cabal, because then all this crap will end. Just sick what these people get away with. They did that on the day leaving 74 days left in the year, because again, that's their number. It represents Masonic, occult. That's why the World Trade Centers were on the 74th meridian west, terrorizing the world with occult ancient knowledge. And realize this knowledge wasn't meant to terrorize people, but that's what they do with it. Until next time, Truth Seeker.